Today, President Trump signed an executive order to rename Lake Ontario Lake America. It is the latest chapter in the president's trade war with Canada. America's northern neighbor announced 50% retaliatory tariffs earlier this week. Now President Trump is threatening more duties on Canada next year.
It has to come to a stop. So we're going to be doing tariffs on their cars that are coming in at a substantial level because we want to make the cars here.
CBS News correspondent Nana-Sentuo Bonsu is following the president for us this evening. So how will renaming actually work here? And are all countries required to follow it, Nana?
Hi, Jerika. Good evening. So, yes, basically, Lake Ontario is now Lake America, according to President Trump's executive order that was signed in the Oval Office just hours ago. So, if you remember, early this week, the president threatened to make the name change, and now today, all federal agencies must refer to this body of water as Lake America. So, it also basically directs the Interior Secretary to update the federal database so it reflects the name change. You asked if all countries have to follow it. They actually do not. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney put out in a social media post today as a response to the president's executive order saying Lake Ontario to Canadians will continue to be referred and called Lake Ontario then, now, and forever.
Some other news that we want to get to, Nana. President Trump is also facing backlash over his beef import plan. What are some of the ranchers saying in this country about all of that?
Yes, Shrika. So if you remember, this beef import plan was basically a way to make beef cheaper for consumers. So basically kind of removing the tariff on imported beef. Well, ranchers are upset. They are not happy. The president is getting a lot of backlash, not just from farmers, but politicians as well. They're saying that importing beef at a cheaper price makes it even harder for struggling Americans and then the industry long term. We know that politicians on both sides are pushing back. Alabama Congressman Shamari Figgers is planning to introduce legislation that reverses President Trump's beef import plan. So we'll have to see kind of what happens in the coming days. But definitely farmers across the country speaking out saying this isn't helping us. It's definitely only making it more difficult.
And President Trump is in Texas, we know, tonight for an RNC fundraiser for Senate nominee Ken Paxton. How are Republicans feeling about that seat right now?
So right now, as it appears, Republicans still feel confident in Ken Paxton. They want him, basically need him to win that Senate seat this November, even though polls are showing that his Democratic opponent, James Tallarico, is actually leading him in the polls. It's important to note that he's not just leading him in polls, but he's also leading in campaign dollars, but obviously hoping to change that tonight with the president down in Houston for this campaign event, hoping to turn numbers around as we head into this November election.
All right, Nana-Sentuo Bonsu at the White House for us today. Thank you.